Clutch Trucker filmed before a live studio audience. Yeah, we were just outside. We're here in Fultonville, New York, and it's hot. That's why he's panting. But
say a command.
Here goes my GPS. Remember, he got groomed a few weeks back. I finally got groomed. Yay, I got a haircut when I was home. And Clutch Trucker still standard with Lysol wipes. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker channel. I had to close all the curtains open here. It's just too freaking hot outside, and these are very thick. You know, you've seen them before. They're thick, kind of a vinyl, and they're blackout, so they keep the sun out. Because when the sun's beating down on the windshield and the windows, it just heats up the truck. So I'm trying to keep it cool, baby. Keep it cool. Thank you. I'll get to an update here in just a minute on what's been going on, because it's been over a week since I posted a video, and I know that's very unlike me, but I got to spend some time at home. But first I wanted to show you driving up into upstate New York early this morning. Some fog rolling against the hills, and upstate New York is actually kind of neat looking. It's kind of scenic. Don't know how well this is going to come out on the dash cam, but driving in New York State on my way up towards Saratoga Springs, where I got to deliver a load of cans I picked up. Where did I pick that up? Down in Rome, Georgia. And it's early in the morning, 6:10 a.m. Eastern time, and there's still a lot of fog kind of rolling around up in the hills, against the hills. Like I say, I don't know how well this is going to show up on the dash cam, but thought it would be worth looking at. Well, I'll speed it up here a little bit for you, because otherwise it would be 6 minutes of this, and it's kind of neat, but it's not that cool. Anyway, yeah, and the sun's kind of blinding a little bit as it comes in there. And of course, it looks like I'm flying along because I sped it up. But if you look down at the bottom of the screen where it says Rexine dash cam, it does show I'm going about 67 miles an hour. I have my own little personal rule. I don't go any more than 3 miles an hour over the speed limit. That way, I never get hassled. How about that? See that the bank of fog up there against the mountain? That's kind of cool. Or they call them mountains out here in upstate New York, but they're hills. I grew up in Colorado. I live in Wyoming now. These are hills. And now you can see the sun's about to start going down behind the whole fog bank, and then it gets a little bit darker. The whole image kind of changes. So that's kind of fun looking. Kind of rolling through some fog right there. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. And for those of you curious, I do use the Rexine, R-E-X-I-N-G, dash cam, Rexine V1 Generation 3. It has, you can do Wi-Fi to transfer everything to your phone, and that's how I transfer all these videos to my phone after I get parked. Yeah, the Rexine V1 Generation 3 dash cam, believe me, I've tried them all. I've had Rand McNally's, I've had Garmin's, I've had Cobras, I've had Unidens. Really cheap ones I found at truck stops. Pretty much what it comes down to, I found out, is don't buy a dash cam from a truck stop. They're all garbage. All of them. I've got a couple of videos all about this. Scroll down deep and you'll find it about my Rexine dash cam. Main thing I can tell you is Garmin makes a great GPS. They can't make a dash cam to save their lives. Neither can Rand McNally. The Unidens fall apart. They don't work very well. This Rexine I found has great resolution, great night resolution. If you've looked at a lot of my videos, you'll know that. And it was only $139 from Best Buy or Amazon. And if you pay the extra $29, you get the GPS little plug-in that plugs into it to give you, that always marks your timestamps, your latitude, longitude, so your location, and your speed. And that's what you always see at the bottom of the screen in my videos, so you can see how fast I'm going. And for truck drivers especially, that's what we need. So if someone says, oh, he was flying down the road at 85 miles an hour, I got the video. I can show you I wasn't. So get over it. And like I said, I have my own personal rule, which is I don't go more than 2 or 3 miles an hour at most over the speed limit. Now, in 55 zones and work zones, all the other trucks flying by me like I'm standing still. Because a lot of these guys are company drivers, and they're paid by the mile, and they're trying to get the maximum out of their trucks. And their trucks are governed at, like, say, 63, 65 miles an hour. XPO, FedEx, R&L, some of the worst about it, they will go flying through a 55 zone and through the middle of a town because they'll go as fast as their truck will go. I don't. For one, if you speed in a work zone in a commercial vehicle, you can lose your license immediately. A lot of drivers don't seem to know that. I don't mess around with that. I make too much money doing this. This is my livelihood. I'm not going to screw that up by getting a speeding ticket and losing my license. So I've found if I follow my own little rule of no more than 2 or 3 miles an hour over the speed limit, I never get hassled. Because there's always going to be some ass wagon happy to woo fly on by you and get the cops' attention, woo, woo, woo. And then you just cruise on by. Okay, now a quick update. Yeah, it's been over a week since I've done a video, and that's very unlike me. Usually every other day, every few days, I do one. But I actually got to make it home for my son's graduation, and yes, he actually had an outdoor graduation ceremony. I know a lot of kids all across the country have been robbed of their graduation ceremony, and I'm sorry, that sucks. But at least that's one thing that they finally let us have in Cheyenne. Cheyenne has a huge stadium, a huge rodeo stadium that's used every year for Cheyenne Frontier Days, which was canceled this year, but it's huge. And so they let the school district use that and have each school individually, each high school, the 3 high schools, do their graduation ceremony there. They put up the jumbo screens because we still had to kind of sit up pretty high. They gave each family 4 tickets, and they used every other row and kept us spaced apart, so we did the social distancing thing, but we actually got to have an outdoor graduation, and my son was able to speak at graduation this year, and yes, he was wearing a mask.
We will go down as the most important and well-remembered class of this century, not because of all the bad things that have happened, but from the ways we have adapted and overcome them together.
Yeah, that was my son speaking. I'm a super proud dad, and I'd love to show you the whole thing, but, you know, he's not your son, you don't care. But he was awesome. Clutch Trucker approved. But we feel really lucky in Cheyenne that they were able to do that. So that was a great thing I got to be home for. Spend some time with the family. It was a good thing. Got back out here on the road. I had to drive all the way toward the Omaha area to get a load, because the loads coming out of Colorado, which is what I would normally pick up, were paying way less than $1 a mile, and it wasn't even worth it. So Monday night I drove out towards Omaha, picked up a load in Council Bluffs, Iowa, that brought me down to Alabama, I believe. Yes, I'm now referring to my notes. Yeah, I picked up in Council Bluffs, Iowa, Warren Performance Packaging. It was empty jugs like that they used to fill up like a gallon of motor oil that I brought down to Albertville, Alabama. Got a load going down there, and then I picked up the load that I just delivered this morning in Rome, Georgia, empty cans, like soda cans type of cans, going up here to Saratoga Springs, New York. That's where I was on my way this morning when you saw that video. And then I was able to pick up another load that I picked up in Scotia, Schenectady, essentially, New York. This is heavy, it's soda. Full bottles of soda, 44,500 pounds. It's a heavy load, baby, heavy load, going down to Pittsburgh, but it doesn't deliver until Monday, which brings me to my next point. Father's Day! Happy Father's Day to you! Happy Father's Day to you! Ho, ho, ho! Anyway, yeah, so of course, it is Saturday right now, the 20th. Tomorrow, the 21st, is Father's Day. Which I'll be spending out here on the road by myself. But my dispatcher, Bo, this morning when he was, I talked to him, said, well, what are you going to do for Father's Day? I'm like, Bo, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to rest. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to eat some of, my wife made me some of the great chicken casserole stuff she makes that's sent with me. She sent me some spaghetti with me from the house. I'm going to eat some good food out of the truck. I'm going to rest. And other fathers, I would suggest you do the same if you can. I know if you got the little ones, you can't really do that. So, kind of to wrap this video, let's say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. We appreciate all that you do, and I know my family appreciates me. May not get a call or anything, but you know, my sons are teenagers. What do you expect? It's not a big deal. Later on in life, they'll understand, right? So, happy Father's Day. We'll end the video there with that. To all the fathers out there, still out here working, and I'll keep making videos. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please ring that bell for notification. Please like, please comment. I do get to your comments. Takes me a day or two sometimes because I am working, but I do get to your comments, all right? As always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch out.